Good morning. What's up, peoples? Oh man, it's Friday. We got coffee. It used to be a coffee show. I mean, didn't really, but I'm already like halfway out. It makes me sad. I feel like I should get more before we continue, or have someone go get more. What's up, Slater? Full attention. What? I get all of Slater today. My dreams have come true. Sean's a real one though. Even when he's working, I get all of them. Dude, I do this, and yeah, like once every 2 weeks for sure. Cause like I'll move my charger to the living room, and then it'll come back. Like I'll bring it back into the bedroom, and like I won't like push it all the way into the wall. And so yeah, that's kind of the gist. What's up, Katie? What's up, Aaron? Not saving lives. God, what a piece of shit. I can't believe you're not saving lives today. Were you on shift the last like 4 or 5 days, Slater, um for the storm? I assume you guys got a shitload of snow too. Um, let's see. Good morning, Natalie. What's up? Hello, hello. All right. What are we talking about today? What do you guys want to talk about? I am. So I like rekindled my like desire to like post on social media a lot. And so for those that don't know, I have a page. It's not WODprep. It's like a rehab page, um, and so I used to do the social media thing and post every day. And I don't know. I just like I got this itch, and so we're back to it. So I'm enjoying it. Trying to get faster at it. It takes up a lot of time. Um, yeah, trying to get some posts that actually do well, not just 10 views or 10 likes, but it's good. So head over to the Movement Doctor on Instagram. Give me a follow for rehab stuff and training stuff. Yeah. All right. Good morning, Natalie. Is it still cold in Tampa? How cold is it today? Slater, so everyone here in Escambia County in Pensacola were required to work. So um, they pulled everyone in like for the last 4 days. Like everyone worked till yesterday at noon, no matter what. It was pretty wild. All the firefighters. Good morning, Leslie. Good morning, Vicky. Um, no, I think I had already made that first video actually. Um, Maybe I didn't. No, I guess I didn't. I think I just started it on Tuesday. So maybe that was like a little, subconscious motivation um, to talk about. I don't know. I'm pretty sure I have for the month of mitts. I'm pretty sure I have a core activation one too. Jeff, I'm at the gym, so this is at Mako CrossFit in Pensacola. So they just have like an upstairs area where we can work. So it's nice. hmm Jeff, you were on something recently, weren't you? Um, so Wadapalooza went well. Man, I was in like 10th place before heat one or before the third workout, and I thought there was only two workouts, and I bailed, and I fucking missed again every time. Never fails. Never fails. Clydesdale, that's right. Um, so yeah, I was pretty sad. I was doing well in heat one, and then I forgot, and it's just a pain in the ass with Scott. That's right. Um, let's see what is on the docket. So snow is pretty wild. So we got to like do Sledding thing? I don't know. I don't think so. I mean, if he's back, Travis isn't gonna let us live it down. So we'll do the Wadapalooza thing in full uh with the guys in like a couple hours. But we'll do it here now too. Why not? So be be nice to me because I'm working on my computer today. Um, all right, so let's go to men, men, men. You guys remember the Man Show? Dude, that show was the shit. Talk about a hilarious show. All right. I mean, where is he? In 10th? I mean, he had one good event. I don't actually really have any information on him. I don't really remember him from the past either. I think he had one good event. It seems like he started downtrending. This is the CrossFit event, right? So, I mean, assuming this is the CrossFit event, he just looked very fit in this event. It's hard to say anyone is back when we have two sort of specialist events, right? Same thing with like Max Krieg, right? I mean, these are kind of specialist events. It seemed as though the um, so like it seemed like the second event could have had a bias based on lane and raking. So I think it's hard to give anyone like a hard bias. Now, with that being said, I mean to go first, second, second. I mean this is a CrossFit event. I mean it doesn't get much more CrossFit than this besides a heavy load, right? So, I mean I think James is here to fucking play. So I'm super stoked for it. Everyone can hate him. If James wins Wadapalooza, he's got to go up the mountain, right? I mean, he's got to. So, can you guys see that? I think you can. Um, but he's got to go up the mountain, right? And he, I mean, this is, I mean, to sit with Austin Hatfield, who you know is arguably like the best handstand push-up for males active in the field right now on a shoulder workout, like is pretty impressive, right? So I would say that, we'll see today, but I think it's I mean, I think James looks really good. So let's see how today goes. So as far as the women, Lucy Campbell, all right, I picked Emma Tall to get second in this one. Um, and then I mean Emma looks good, right? Emma's a bigger girl. Handstand push-ups. I mean, I think this is a better assessment of who is very fit and who isn't. I think this is a big surprise, mainly because of probably this workout that she didn't win. Um, but I mean, 43 points um, is a pretty big gap to overcome in only three workouts, right? She's going to need help from the field. Um, there's a pretty big separation. Lucy Campbell, but we know Lucy Campbell's probably going to fall. Um, just from like heavier weight, etc. So it'll be interesting. The girls' race is really up in the air for what's left. So it's going to be a good race. Um, so I'm excited. All right, let's go in order. Jess, I'm going to star this, and we're going to come back to it to answer some questions. Let's go. Didn't do heat one. Yeah, I didn't either. I was just going like heat to heat or workout to workout, and then I just forgot. I really just didn't know. I thought there was only two workouts. I don't know why I thought that. I agree. James is a good dude. I'm oddly attracted to Jessica Andrade. Let's find out what Jessica looks like. Jessica. I think you spelled that right, actually. Oh, yeah, yeah. I mean, you know, she's attractive. It's good. Good for you. She's a tank for sure. Um, so um, let's see. I'm annoyed at all the withdrawals. Seems like it's happening more and more. They complain about not having enough opportunities than to compete by pulling out. They take opportunities. I do dislike last minute withdrawals because of they take away opportunities from other athletes. 100%. I don't mind them in the sense of like, it's their job and it's career, so I'm not mad at them. You know, the rumor for like Bethany didn't even make the trip. So I don't know if they backfilled, but if she didn't make the trip, then they knew for a while, right? And the rumor for Jeff was weeks, weeks. And so I think there's one of two things that could happen there. I think it's shitty if they withheld it. Um, uh, but Sean, no, I mean, I think the other, whoops, um, there we go. I think the Jeff one is worse because the rumor had it for weeks that he was withdrawing, right? And he was still competing in team. The only thing that I can think of was that Wadapalooza asked them to not say anything because it might hinder ticket sales. What do you guys think about that? Do you think that that's a factor that could have played a role? Um, but I do dislike that it takes away opportunity from people. Now that's not to say if they knew and they've backfilled before, right? Um, yeah, I heard the rumor in like I don't know, 2 weeks, at least 2 weeks ago, like right when we got back from like Christmas break. So, um, and he pulled out the morning of. Bethany at least sent a video the day before, but I do disagree. I don't like it. Um, but this is part of it, right? Like this is part of, especially when your sport is not based on skill, but based on like durability, right? And it is literally based on being it's based on being as fit as possible, unlike ball sports. Right. Yeah, yeah. Um, like ball sports can have like, you can be subpar and still have a good game. You can't be a little bit sick and still be like and still win, right? And not hurt yourself further. You know what I mean? Like you can and that's not to say the other sports aren't hard, they are, but the other sports rely on skill and teamwork and things like that. Whereas CrossFit is if you're not 100%, like you could further injure yourself or like further make yourself worse drastically. Like the gap, that like risk is much higher. Um, but I don't think either. No, absolutely not. She wouldn't clean heavy on a heavy, dude. Don't, dude. Slater, are you trying to get me going today? Is that what you fucking want? Do you want me to get heated? Hmm? All right. Yeah, I agree for sure. Um, right. She is. Raptus is a good example um, of performing while sick, uh, but she doesn't perform well, right? Like she does poorly. Like when she is sick, she doesn't do well. So I think it's a double-edged sword with that. Um, yeah, I took them a little bit. So was the stream trash? It started off. It started off, and it looked like they hadn't practiced. That was it, right? Um, you know, people underestimate the difficulty to run a stream. They have multiple floors, and so um, it is a. Um, I think people underestimate the difficulty um, to find that balance when you're trying to run multiple floors. But thanks, buddy. So, dude, this is my Walmart special, man. This is the best jacket I've ever bought, and it was $30. Um, they had guys on the floor. Sean, I want to know what it would cost to have two or three guys on the floor with cameras. I mean, they had guys on the floor. So, um, something is better than nothing, and that's also what people don't realize is we've never had a live stream. We've never had a broadcast um, for Wadapalooza. It's always just a camera with with the announcer going, right? And so that's a much different. Um, yeah, for sure. This is counted the complaints. There was an average of 12,654 a minute. It was crazy. I had to turn the chat off. I can't. People fucking complain about everything, right? Streams are expensive. They're hard. It takes crews. Um, but my only complaint um, uh, was oh, that was good math. Did you do that on purpose to get to 13,000? Um, my only complaint was it just seemed like right when it started that they hadn't practiced, right? Like transitioning, getting um the sound from the floor off, right? And so that was my only complaint. Um so that was it. Like it just seemed like they were trying to figure it out on the fly, at least in the very beginning, right? And I didn't like that. Like it just felt like it was unpolished to start. It was unpolished the whole time, but it was like it was fine after that. But it just seemed like there was a long like they were just like, oh, if I press this button, it goes here, and I press that button, it goes there, right? So um yeah, this was interesting. I wonder I've never felt that, but I listened to it. Today will for sure be better, Natalie, without a doubt. Um, I was hoping today. Yeah, I loved it. Chase in my left ear and Bill in my right ear. It was pretty neat um, how that was happening. I don't know if that was I assume it was on purpose, but I'd never like experienced that before. Um, so yeah, it was interesting to say the least. Um, Grant's going to come on for a minute, keeping it real, just to give a little bit of how boots on the ground is. I'll keep him in check so he doesn't ramble too much. Um, Sean did love being between two men. Definitely. I 100% thought it was too. I couldn't really hear it on the laptop. Um, uh, this is funny. Very true. What's up?
What up, man? How are you?
Good, man. Good.
You still cold?
It's so cold here. It was like 28 degrees when we got up. Snow's on the ground.
Dude, is that the first time you guys have ever had snow there?
Like this, yeah. Like
Yeah,
the
okay.
not even, yeah, I mean, a, um, the record all time was like 3 inches, and we got anywhere from 8 to 11, depending where you were in the city.
Oh wow. Oh, Jake's there. In a little bit. I'm gonna maybe just for like a 30-second portion of the show. I'm gonna have to kind of show him around the room a little bit, and maybe he can help diagnose some things. But later
What?
on, we can talk about Wadapalooza.
Yeah, how was day one?
Uh, no, it's actually cold here too. I didn't know.
Mhm.
I didn't pack a lot of stuff. I'm probably gonna have to buy a hoodie or something because I brought one long sleeve shirt and some sweatpants. Everybody else came with like coats and hoodies, so they must know that even in warmer years, I guess it gets cold at night and wet. And
Yeah, it's 50 degrees in Miami is, like, very uncomfortably cold.
yes, yeah.
Yeah,
Last night I was
like,
freezing.
yeah, it's not like 50 degrees in where do you Arkansas, Missouri? Where do you live?
Kansas,
Kansas.
Wichita.
Yeah, 50 which yeah, so it's
Yeah.
totally different. 50 degrees down in Miami is, like,
Yep.
gross.
Because it's like wet,
So
humid, and yeah.
mhm. So how was,
hmm
how's the experience? Like, how is South Beach? How is, like, where it's at, etcetera?
So obviously I can't compare it, but from people I've talked to, they do like the setup better. And I'm just talking about the actual venue, and it is pretty epic when you walk up. There's going to be more people on the weekend. I think that's typically what happens. It gets packed, but
Mhm.
it's quite the sight when you walk up, man. Like what they built on the beach is impressive. It is
Yeah.
huge, and it's all fenced off with the temporary metal fencing, and then you've got three, at least two gigantic stages. I'm trying to picture. You have the gauntlet, and I think there's another stage too. But it's huge. It's very impressive the setup what they've done. Now I don't know how to hold up if there's nearly twice as many people. A little bit crowded, just like
Oh,
walkways and stuff.
no.
Not too bad.
It's
Yeah.
gonna get bad. It's gonna get
Okay.
bad.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That'll be fun.
Oh, yeah, for sure. It'll get dense. I heard the tickets are $100 a day. Is that true?
I have no idea because I got mine for the media access thing. I didn't pay
Yeah, I
attention.
think it's like not I think
They've
it's like
gone up,
I
I
think
know.
it's yeah, that's crazy. $100 a day is wild. It's more than the CrossFit
Yeah.
Games. Way more than the
There are some
CrossFit
real
Games.
surprises, dude. It's pretty exciting. I've been a little bit disconnected from it. I haven't caught all the heats, and I've been running around trying to get done, make some funny videos, and I've been a little bit more disconnected than I would be at home watching spin casts and all that stuff.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
But
yeah. Mhm.
wow, like yeah, like Ariel Lowen, what is her overall place right now? Do you know?
Um, yeah, hold on. I can pull it up.
She was so
Mm,
far down. I didn't see after the last event. I think she did better on the last one.
she's 24th. Yeah, she don't look that great. So she got
Okay, so
33rd,
moved up.
26th, 10th. But I mean,
Yeah.
she'll keep moving up. The
Wow.
CrossFit's coming.
Yeah,
But yeah, that's not good. I didn't even notice that. It totally.
dude.
I think I had her pegged as a podium athlete.
I did too. Yeah. So here's the thing, dude.
Yeah,
Sprague. Okay. So this next one coming up, obviously very impressive. I think he just keeps getting better. He really is hungry and getting better. He's only 22, 23
sure.
years old. This one, the next one's the heavy lift, right?
Cuban
I
press.
believe.
No, it's the burpee
Oh,
dumbbell bench press.
okay. So it's
I don't
funny.
know.
Nobody's
I don't
talked
know if
about.
that's first though. But
Okay.
yeah,
I think, no, it is Cuban press. I heard press and thought,
sure.
what are the next ones? Oh, that's close.
So it's Cuban press and then the lift, and
Okay.
then worth the weight, and then whatever else, whatever the last workout is.
Got it.
That muscle up one, Cortadito
Oh,
too.
good. Okay.
That muscle up one
So
to finish is going to be hard.
yeah, definitely. It's brutal. So it's interesting. The only one that James was worried about, I talked to James last week and yesterday at the event, was shouldn't say worried. The one that he's trying to just get in, get out, and not have damage be done is the clean, the heavy clean
Yeah, sure.
and hand clean.
Yep.
People have mentioned that he might not be great at the one that has bench press. He loves that event. I'm pretty sure, I don't want to misquote him, but I'm pretty sure he thinks that he's going to get top 3 on the bench press event.
Yeah, Cuban press. What is it? I mean, it's a high burpee,
Yeah.
right? An over the block burpee really benefits him, and that's where the majority of the workout is, right? So there's
Yep.
40 dumbbell bench press, and I think it's at 70s, so or 80s, which is a lot, but it's not that much, right? Um, I
I
mean,
think it'd be
50 burpees
really
over the
close.
block takes way longer. So
Oh,
I
yeah.
agree. Needs to do well.
I think it'd be a really close match right now between him and Adler if Adler were doing it. And I'm really disappointed that Adler's not.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm a little bit biased because I like James, but beating Adler on this stage would go a really long way for the people who are like, well, the CrossFit Games was cardio based.
Well, I mean, I don't disagree with you. It would, but
Yeah.
it's still going to go a long way. If he comes out first
Yeah.
in a Wadapalooza type event, uh,
Yep.
I mean, like, the mountain is going to change, right? I mean, he's going to
Oh,
start to
yeah.
solidify where he is and his
Yep.
the realism of his winning the games, right? And you
Yep.
can say whatever you want about the games and the biasness, etc. Um, he's going to start to solidify himself as a top 5 athlete,
Great.
and really start to put um, the pressure on Adler or whoever else you consider in the top 5. I don't even know
Yeah.
who you would consider all there.
Yeah.
But yeah. Uh, so, so how's Miami? Where are you staying? Are you on Miami
It's
Beach?
it's a little bit. I'm getting used to it a little bit more. It's kind of, how do I describe it? When you get here from somewhere else at first, so I'm used to San Diego and California, which is just beautiful. Like the beaches are beautiful. Even I don't know, even like the housing and the hotels and everything. And then Miami's just totally different. I don't want to say scummy. It's old. It's not very
Old.
updated. Yeah,
Mm-mm.
it's not very updated. It's old, and it kind of just gives you a little bit of a almost creepy vibe. It's beautiful by the beach. It's just I just didn't like the vibe the first night. Everything's like crammed in, and you got all the boutique hotels. You have to go further into Miami to get to the normal, really tall Marriotts and
Yeah,
all
yeah,
all
yeah,
those
into
different hotels.
downtown. Right. Yeah, the beach is Miami Beach, like Cocaine Cowboys in the 80s. That's when
Yeah.
everything was built,
Yep.
and they basically just leveraged the city in the like where it is and what it is over hospitality, like actual stay, amenities, etc. And it's just the
Yeah.
experience, right, of being in Miami.
Wow.
And so that's like that everywhere, right? Except downtown. Just downtown is newer, right? But Miami Beach is
Okay.
old,
The
and
airport's
like
not
that's
updated
what you
like
get.
it's the same as Cocaine. Like I
Yeah.
remember the airport from Cocaine Cowboys, and I feel like, have they even painted?
Yep.
Or did you see that documentary by chance, Cocaine Cowboys?
Oh yeah.
Okay, that's what I was
Oh
thinking
yeah.
about. Just very not modern. It kind of reminds. Have you ever been to Hawaii, Oahu?
No.
Okay,
Mm-mm.
similar. It's like
Similar. Sure.
it's very old and like, I don't want to say run down. It's just old feeling. Whereas when I've been, like, San Diego feels very new and nice. So
Right.
it's just a little bit different. It's
Yeah, where
very
everything is,
crowded, but
right? I mean, like, yeah, everything is. Like, there's downtown Miami is new. Like, if so, like where it was in Brickell, that's all brand new. There's literally a mall integrated into the downtown, um, like a mile south of where it used to be, and it's all brand
yeah,
new. And but Miami Beach, no, definitely not. They just can't afford to do anything there. And people still pay, $1,000 a night to stay in scummy like hotels because they're on, Fifth Ave,
yeah.
right?
It's so funny. I
Crazy.
kind of get the feeling of what they're all like because I'm at one of them, and yeah, they're just the little boutique hotels, and then the people that I've talked to, they're like, yeah, we're staying at this hotel. It's supposed to be really nice. It's like $500 a night, and then it's just a tiny room, like nothing available. So, yeah.
Cool, man. Well, hey, thanks for popping on. I just wanted to
Yeah,
get a
for sure.
little info, boots on the ground. But good luck. Keep
How
making
much
some
is
good
Jake
shit. And
complaining?
huh?
Before I go, how much is Jake complaining about me being on?
Grant's head looks upside down. Has Grant ever been to Scotland? Grant, which shade of Just for Men did you use on your beard? It
Oh, yeah.
looks somewhere between African
Yep.
hunger and Arabian coffee. I like African hunger. I think it looks a little more. There's definitely some like sparkle in there.
It faded. That's
Um,
because I showered. It's probably the water. It faded a little bit. Like at first, I was like, "Oh my gosh!" It like was black, but now it's faded to where it's a little bit natural. I don't think I'm going to do that again. Oh yeah,
I
uh,
like the Guess Who character. That's good because
yeah.
you have very definitive like features.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's
Thanks.
nice.
I like CrossFit a
That's a
lot.
good yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Anything else before I go? Let's
I,
pull up
no,
the.
I think that's it.
Okay.
What's the plan? What's the plan today? Give me your 30-second rundown of what you're
Yeah.
making
So
today.
the plan today is I've got to do a little bit stressful because I've got to do. I'm going to watch all the events. I want to watch and document those on Sunday and I'm sorry, Saturday and Sunday. I'm supposed to meet up with James and get some footage and stuff. Try to do some more video type stuff and getting used to this new camera that I have. So I'll watch all the events. I'll get some footage. So I have some stuff to edit when I get home. Definitely excited for that. I'm gonna watch Ty Jenkins on RX when he competes.
Cool.
That'll be fun. And then I've got to do something for CrossFit to promote the Open. So I've got to run around and get little snippets of why people are excited for the Open, and it's kind of like a funny, comedic turn on it. And I have like 8 people who agreed to it, and I didn't get any of them yesterday.
Yeah, it's tough.
It kind
It
of,
goes by quick.
yeah, it's half my fault and half their fault. I wasn't aggressive enough, so I'm on that today.
To be ready. So for the way that Friday works, I know events, just everything happens later in Miami. So however late it was last night,
Okay.
it's going to be another 2 hours later. So like everything is pushed back because everything takes a long time to go get
What it
food, to
seems
get
like.
wherever you're going to go. So like
Yeah.
just be prepared that
Okay.
like your night will go till like midnight or 1 a.m. and it just keeps progressively getting later throughout the
That's
weekend.
funny. Yeah,
It's
because
just how it
yesterday
always
we
works.
were done, and if it wasn't for reps ahead, it would be earlier. But like reps ahead was over at I think like 8 or something, and that was the end of the
Hmm.
night. And then
Yeah.
tonight it looks like the events are pushed back, so I can see that.
It just keeps going. Yep. And then if you're like,
Yeah,
oh, I want to get food, and then it takes forever, and then
yeah.
you get the whole
Hey,
Miami experience.
yeah, exactly. One question for you. I haven't been able to catch much of the live stream. The only thing that I heard is I when I was filming in the pit or whatever it's called, I brushed into Hiller and he said, "Yeah, I heard the live stream would be better if you were doing that right there." And it was just me with my little camera. So I'm
No, it
assuming
certainly wasn't
it
that
was
bad.
not good.
the
Okay.
the the problem was we were just talking about this before you came on. Was that it seemed like they were just unpracticed, right? So like they were having trouble switching cameras and turning the volume off on the floor so you could hear Bill and Chase. And so it
Oh,
just seemed like they
you could
hadn't done
hear
a
Bill
lot
and
of
Chase
practice.
when they were supposed to like hot mic.
Yeah, so like when they would come down to the floor, they couldn't get the floor volume off or they couldn't turn it down. So like all you could hear was the announcer talking over Bill and Chase, right? And so it was just like
I see.
it just didn't seem, but it got better throughout. And I thought, I mean, the
Okay.
angles are what they are. So I mean, I
Yeah.
think they're fine. It's gotten
I
better. It'll
think
be
it,
better today. Yeah,
somebody
CrossFit.
said that.
It seems like they didn't rehearse. It seems like they just didn't like, hey, when like we cut to here, this volume is off, this volume
Yeah.
is on. You know what I mean? Like here, we need
Because
this
Brian,
camera
I think
on this
Brian Friend
portion.
is in charge of it. I think Brian Friend
Oh,
somehow.
is he?
Um,
I have no idea.
that's what I heard. At the last minute, he got involved. And I think he's like in charge of the
Jake
broadcast.
said it seemed like you were in charge.
I mean, I don't disagree with you, Jake. Anyway, all right, cool. That's awesome, man. I'll let you know if anything interesting happens. I'll give you the scoop.
Sick. Give
All
me the
right.
scoop. Thanks, man.
All right. Talk to you guys later. Bye.
Later. Sick. Everyone, if you see Grant down there, just give him a thanks, even though we pick on him. He's a good dude. Um, uh, Renata, I will. Can you read who you're replying to? Um, yes, I'll try. I'll try to. Um, I just try and pull it up on the screen, and I try and read the comment at least. Someone asked, CrossFit Adler may become the if he could say no. I don't think so. I think that's like a I think this is a one off. I would say that it's probably just him making good decisions and not pushing it for 30 grand. You know what I mean? 30 grand is a lot, but I mean, I think there comes a point where you become sponsored and you've won big money that you can make financial decisions for like health and longevity that it doesn't really, I don't know, challenge the needle as much, right? So that would be my guess. Um, so so event four, Sean, what time is event one? Need to go pretend to work. Event four is at like 12, like 1:40 Eastern time. So it's like 5 hours from now. Um, Dan, I'm going to start this comment too, and we'll come back to it. My affiliate does cap. We're bleeding members. Um, uh, let's see. Yeah, it seemed like they just didn't rehearse. I agree. I think that's what it. Um, um, Adler saw main site and he wanted to do that. Haha. Um, Vicky, we'll star that too. We'll come back to it. Jess's question. Yeah. All right. Back to Jess's question to start the show. So many changes lately. Which grips are allowed? Games in Albany, trans athletes in separate category. Are they in a separate category? I don't think that's how it works. Community Cup only I've only seen headlines. I feel like it's been tough to keep up. Okay. All right. Um, I won't get too political ever on this show. So we'll do our best to answer and give my opinion on all of these. But uh, it is, so many changes. Which grips are allowed? Uh, there's like it's like in football, right? There's like a point where the grip, like the glove, becomes like too supportive, right? And I think that's fair. I think it's totally fair to like limit how good, right? It's sort of like the golf ball, right? They rolled it back or they want to roll it back because the golf ball's getting too good, the ball's going too far. You can say what you want about it. We want that entertainment, but if the goal is to test fitness and ability, etc., we want to limit the amount of supportive aid that we can get from our devices, right? It's the same reason why we don't have too big of belts, same reason why there's a limit on the thickness of the knee sleeve, etc. Even though there's no way they can check for the knee sleeve, right? Um, or you just double up on knee sleeve. Um, yeah, but I don't think they rolled back the suits, right? CrossFit said it happened in swimming. Records are getting unbeatable due to suits. I don't think they rolled those back though, right? I think they just kept moving forward. It was like the 2008 Olympics when um, uh, what's his face? I can't even think of his name. When the guy beat all the records. Oh, they did roll it back. Oh, who knew? CrossFit, you know a lot of shit. Okay, back to Jess's. So um, the games are in Albany, right? And so here's my opinion on that. Okay, is that the best place? No, it kind of fucking sucks. Okay, all right, it should have stayed in Madison. But here we go. This is what everyone wants to complain about. Everyone complains about all the things that CrossFit doesn't do, of like a stream, media, where the games are, how they push it, how much money they give out, and all of these things. But guess what? We can only do fun things if we come to play, meaning if we watch all the streams, we spend all the money, the viewers go to the games, they sign up for the open. Those are the things that will fund all of it. If there were a million people signing up for the open, all right, a million. If we had a million people signing up for the open, the games would fucking be floating in the sky. Okay. Like they would be wherever we wanted them to be, and the situation would just be way better. Right. And so we're in this snowball effect of people don't want to sign up for the open, and then CrossFit makes financial cuts over and over again. But it all stems from not making money. You can't have events and you can't have nice things if there's no money to have nice things. Okay. So that's just the way that it is. Right. And it just sucks. It just stinks that that's the case. But you know what? Tough shit. That's just what it is. So we got to spend money. We got to sign up for the open. We got to sign up for the community cup. We got to go to semifinals. We got to watch the stream so they can spend more and get more from sponsors, right? We got to spend more money into CrossFit so that they can put more money into CrossFit, et cetera, et cetera. We got to go to the games. All of these things have to, that's what has to happen, right? And it starts with us in the affiliate promoting the open. And that's where it all starts. We want the games to go back to be in fucking Vegas, right? At the, we want to go to a football stadium, Dallas Cowboys, and sell it out, 100,000 people watching. Yeah, that's how we have to do it. Um, uh, I agree. The size of the city, I think Albany is the right size city. Um, uh, I agree. It is the right size city. Albany's just kind of old and dusty, right? Like I think Madison was perfect. We should have stayed. Dave should have just stopped with, like his need to change. I think we should have stayed in Madison, um, and like weathered the storm. But I mean, obviously we didn't know, right? Like, obviously we couldn't predict Lazar passing in the fallout. Um, yes, I think Albany is a choice. They needed to, yeah, but you can overcome that, right? I mean, they people, 120,000 people go to fucking Wisconsin football games every weekend, right? And they fly into Milwaukee and they drive over, right? It is what it is. So I think Albany, because CrossFit is broke, I think that has a role because I think the MVP arena is probably very cheap. Yes. Okay. Trans athletes in a separate category. So this is a political topic that I won't dig too far into. I believe that biological males and biological women should compete against each other. And I don't think there's any, I don't agree with biological men transitioning into women are appropriate in any sport, at any age, at any level in general. And that's it. And we're going to move on from that. Uh, so, yeah. Um, um, should have stayed in Fort Worth. No, I don't think they could have stayed in Fort Worth, Jeff. Jeff said we should have stayed in Fort Worth. Man, I think it was just too much pain. And I'm pretty sure Fort Worth kicked us out. Like I don't think they wanted it back either. All right. Next question. Community Cup. I think the Community Cup is if we could just hang on to something for more than a year, okay? Um uh I think if we can just hang on to any like just 75% of the structure that we create this year, I think the Community Cup will be the best thing in the sport of CrossFit. I think it'll be bigger than the games in the sense of more people will participate and it's going to promote more people to do the open. We're going to do a Community Cup event, and um, we're going to do a Community Cup event or podcast to talk about it more so. But quarterfinals was a much bigger success than CrossFit ever realized, right? Or they thought it would be. They thought it was going to be lame, that no one from the 75 to 85 percentile was going to sign up. And then that more people signed up from the lower percentage of the qualifiers and the higher percentage, like your bottom 5%, 75 to 79. More of them signed up than 95 to 99%. Okay. 100%, however you want to define it, right? And so with that being the case, they're like, hey, well, let's give everyone a chance because a lot of these people that are scaled or masters are never getting the opportunity to compete again. So let's find a way to implement a second stage for everyone. I think they did a disservice to it by calling it the Community Cup. They could have called it like the CrossFit Levels Championship. You know what I mean? Right? Uh or the Levels Championship or something like that, that like, and given a prize, right? Boz said there's no prizes. There could have been. They could have given a $150 road gift card to every podium athlete in every level, right? Um, and so you do the open, you get your level, and then you get to do it again. You set it up so that 3 workouts can be done in class. Everyone gets to do it. You know what I mean? You do your best um, to regulate it, right? Maybe a couple video reviews. Doesn't have to be anything crazy, but I think the Community Cup can be really good. We're going to push it hard. We're going to promote it for our athletes, especially for all, masters are our thing. By the way, if you're looking for the best master's program in the space, scan the QR code on the bottom right there. If I can hide this, there we go. Boom, scan the QR code, 7 days. If you're a master's and you're not going to even if you are going to the CrossFit Games, right? We have one of our athletes and one of our coaches, Kevin, shoots 35-39, top 10 at the CrossFit Games, right? So if you guys are looking for a good master's program of all levels, intermediate, 60 minutes, scaled, RX, master's RX, scan. Anyways, what's up, Barry? Good morning. Jess, I hope you stuck around and answered that, and you're around for the answer, and I hope that helped you. All right, Dan GC, my affiliate does CAP. For bleeding members, why does CrossFit kill CrossFit? Let's just look at CAP this week, huh? Let's see if I can log into CrossFit.com. Oh man. Dang, I don't have access anymore. I had another one. I don't have it. But I don't. It's certainly not CAP, right? Whoops. It's CAP isn't killing your programming. That's not why you're bleeding members, right? I definitely think that is a reach, right? Programming has never. I don't think that's ever been a. It has. It's like pain, right? Like everyone thinks that pain is directly correlated to like structural damage, and it means like affiliate retention is directly related to programming. It's not. It's related to the experience, um, uh, and coaching and growth and execution and the community, etc. Right? Jake answered it. Yep. Jody. So .com. They're different. They're completely different. They're not the same workouts at all. I don't know how to define what's different. There's obviously a lesson plan, but it's the same feel, right? Like there's just strength days, there's just skill days, but they're just a little more full than .com. .com isn't designed to be done in 60 minutes. .com is designed to be done a little bit shorter, in my opinion, if that were going to be the biggest defining point. But with CAP, it's a 60-minute class, so that's the biggest thing. But they are always different workouts; they're not the same. I can't log in anymore. Maybe I can squeeze a login before. I agree. I know. I understand you, Vera. But so, what if there was something to do, right? What if there was an endpoint? So Vera says, I respectfully disagree with you. Community Cut is the losers bracket. People want to compete in the main event, which is quarters offered, and the CC does not. So if quarterfinals just invited everyone in different levels, would you feel better about that? Because it's, even though you made quarterfinals, it's still the losers bracket. Okay. Right. Like, unless you're 99, like, even if you're the 99 percentile, you're going into a losers bracket. Like, you had no shot. unless you're top 300 in the world. Okay. Right. And so basically, you're a percentage to top 25%. Okay. 75 percentile, 76 percentile, whatever it is that you need to make it. Right. Is you're not going to make it. So there's no, I don't really see how it's not assuming you're the loser's bracket either way, right? You're just doing it because you want to compete more, right, against your friends, etc. This way, there's actually an endpoint, right? Hey, you're a level 7, you competed against level 7s and you won, right? Or you were top 10, right? A level 7 would never be top 40,000 in the world, right? Like that's not even a level 7. You know what I mean? That's like you wouldn't even 40,000 next to your name or 66th, right? Or 45 next to your name, right? I think people are going to um, resonate with that well, right? But so but I always appreciate your input, Avera, even though you're pessimistic about it. You should do it though. Are you going to do it? I think that's a good question. Um, are you going to do the community cup? What if it was called something different? And this is where I think, like, if they branded it a little bit different, would you feel differently about it? Like, what if they called it like the CrossFit Levels Championship, right? Yeah. I mean, I understand what you guys are saying, but they're not really, right? I mean, so then the problem with it is it muddies the ability for us to operate an effective like professional season, right? When you put amateurs and you integrate amateurs into this professional season, that's when we have people like games athletes finishing 700th in a workout because they got dinged a couple reps, but because a couple 2000 placed members put up a crazy score, that for sure wasn't to standard, right? And so I think this is one of the biggest things that CrossFit has grown with is what the open is, right? Like we're doing the same thing as Tia and Matt and Rich and James and Jeff, etc. Um, uh, but I mean, we do it for the open, right? So, um, yeah, Jody, I think I love branding of the Community Cup because it's basically community's most valuable piece. It is the most valuable piece, but even in the community, people love to beat their frenemy next to next to them in the gym, right? Competition in the competitive aspect of CrossFit, in my opinion, is the only reason that it grew the way that it grew. Only reason. So I don't disagree with Clock and Avera in that point that competing against the pros is one of the main driving points of why the Open has been successful. Okay. But until 2018, 19, when was it? Nope. 20, you didn't get to do that anyways, right? You didn't, it was just the Open and then it was nothing. It was just regionals, right? So this just gives, um, uh, so this just gives a opportunity for those that will never have a chance. Right. This is in my first couple of opens, I was doing scale this past year. I almost made semifinals. Being part of the main event motivates me to get better. Um, and I agree, and that's good, right? But there's a lot of athletes that are scaled that will never have a chance to do anything else that now get to do that, right? And then we're talking like, if you're not in the top 75%, the top 25%, you are a scaled athlete, right? Like that's just how it works. So, um, so those athletes, I mean, we're talking a much bigger pool to give them an opportunity to do something else, right? I think it's a huge thing, and I think it's great for the lower half of this population that we never address or give an opportunity to, right? So, all right, Gus, I'm at Mako. I'm upstairs. So this is sort of how I see it. Could be cool to do a Community Cup championship like in the top three before the start of the games. I agree in some capacity, right? Like if you could get yourself there and those things, uh, um, it could be something, right? I mean, they do. You could you could run this, right? Like the top 10 in every level, right? Yeah, this is like how CrossFit. I agree with you here. We could have if we named it different, Avera would for sure have a different mindset. If we named it like the Levels Championship, right? I think it would feel different, right? I think they just had like the naming is the problem, right? The naming is the problem, or the Levels Finals, right? Or something like that. I think it would have just been different, right? So, anyways, all right. What else? Anything? Uh, a good day. Oh, here we go. We'll finish up with, did any of the events yesterday surprise you by how they played out? I'm very surprised. The Internet Cup. There we go. Um, whoa. I'm excited for it. I don't need you coming on here. I'm excited for it. I think the name was poor, right? Um, but yeah, um, the naming is an issue. Um, Dude, you won't find a bigger CrossFit supporter than me. Okay. I think Community Cup's going to be great. I think they could have renamed it and read the room better. Um, the I Cup. There you go. Perfect. All right. What were we talking about? Tom probably picked the name. Okay. Did any of the events yesterday surprise you? Yeah, I think a lot of them did, right? I mean, I think quite a bit of them if we're going into it. We'll finish on some Wadapalooza and then in the show. I got to get some fitness in. Um, I mean, I think Ariel's a huge surprise. I think James is a big surprise. James being number two on this is a big surprise for sure. Um, I think Velner winning this is good. I didn't like the like not raking. Like, yeah, I think sand is what it is, but if they were raking some lanes and they weren't other lanes, that's not okay. But I mean, I think the women have way bigger surprises, right? I think Lucy Campbell being in first is fucking mind blowing, obviously. Um, I think the girls, the one and two, right? So like the one and two being, or one, two, and three. Oh, maybe it wasn't. I thought they were like 4 minutes ahead or something. Um, I mean, this being 45 seconds ahead, like kind of like in groups, these athletes were really, you know, really, impressive here. Astrid did pretty well across the board and then got capped. Obviously, she's got some aerobic strengths and some probably gymnastics weaknesses. Um, uh, I mean, I think that's probably the only thing. Emily Rolfe getting ninth in the CrossFit event, I think is a big surprise. Um, Laura being fifth, down 43 points is a big surprise. Um, and let's see. I mean, it really just seems like in the females for sure. Danny being eighth, Danny doing so well on number four was good. A surprise for sure. Brooke doing great. Jesus Christ. fourth and second. She'll climb. I think Brooke, based on these two events, she'll end up on a podium. But this is wild. I didn't realize she got 40th. Holy shit. Let's see. Ariel Lowen. Like these are, I mean, she's climbing, but this is a really rough start. Annika's consistent rough start. Folo getting worse. Maybe a little bit of a surprise. I think I had her in the top 10. And I don't know. I think that's it. That's probably it. It didn't seem like it. They were kind of stacked. I don't know. I'll let Ty can't do any of that in my head. So this piece will make a difference. Let's talk about Jimmy. Who's Jimmy? James? Who's Jimmy? Is there a Jimmy? We already talked. Are you talking about James? Big Jim? Jimmy? I don't know. What are we talking about? Avera, I agree, man. Still amazed by what these elite athletes can do. Motivates the hell out of me. Gus, we did talk about this already, James Sprague. But I'll talk about it again when we had Grant on. But I'll talk about it again. If Dallon's not there, Hopper's not there, and Adler's not there. But Vellner is, Yonakoski, Annual Kai, Austin Hatfield, Ricky, Luke. I mean, there are perennial games athletes, Guy, Jack, Moritz, Catullus. There are perennial games athletes here, a lot of them, right? No, there's three. Trish, all three events are today. The rest of the three, right? So 4 through 6 will be today. If James wins, I mean, he's going to start to create the stronghold, right? I mean, this is CrossFit, right? The next 4 events will tell. He did amazing in a handstand push-up and rope climb workout, right? Granted, he's great at rope climbs. So we talked about this too. The best ability is availability. Jeff is showing that he's lacking that ability. That was a fucking tongue twister. I don't know if one removal of competition is showing that, right? I just think we have to assume the games are a one-off for everyone that didn't compete or competed poorly. And so I think this is his only real removal, right? And we'll see, right? If he does it again, I agree. Then we've got problems. But I just don't think the games is a measurable or like a factor that can be put into the mix personally. So if he does it again, for sure, I agree 100%. But he was supposed to be there. He wasn't. I think James looks really good. I mean, to do that well on a handstand push-up workout and take Austin Hatfield down to the last second on a workout like that, where Austin is an elite in all of the movements that were there. I think that it's impressive with Sprague. There's this phenomena, right? That like once you break through, right, it's easier to maintain it, right? So like once you win, it's easier to maintain being the best and staying on top. It's hard to get to the top. And I'm not saying it's easier, but like you just have this charisma, this like aura about you, right? Of your training, your execution, your confidence, and all of these things that kind of comes to fruition. That I think people sort of underestimate of just like, hey, I made it. Here I am, and it's like training gets easier, like your execution gets better, everything just improves. And I think that seems like where James is. We'll see today, right? Cuban press is a good test. The lift we'll see. And the last one, is very similar to the workout that he did exceptionally well in at the finals at the CrossFit Games. So um, uh, yeah, I think it's like an all like you put more trust in your training, in the results. There's less questioning, etc. Confidence, ability gets you to the top. Yep. Um, mm, who's winning Cuban press? You or Augustus? Probably. There's a lot of burpees, right? Um, there's a lot of burpees, so I think Gus is still. I think the fitness is still going to move the needle. I don't think the bench press is going to be the biggest separator. I mean, it's a separator, but it's not a big separator. Chest to bar, burpees over the blocks, 40 bench press, um, and I think the bench press is either at 70s or 80s. Yeah, for sure. I've seen you do burpees, Gus. You're still good at them. All right, I got to dip. I'm gonna make some content. Um, any last minute things, guys? If you're looking for the best masters training, man, I'm telling you, give a scan over there. Right, that's what we do. We coach masters. We coach young people too, but masters is our thing. If you're old, you're like, fuck, I'm always beat up. You need better training. Scan the QR code. Give it a test. 7 days free. Come see me. We talk in there all the time. We do weekly coaching calls. We answer videos, et cetera, et cetera. So we get all the value inside of the group. Um, let's see what else. Any last minute topics that I should shoot today for social media? So today's topic I think is, let's see, what is month of myths today? Oh, back pain and rotated hips. It's a good one. Um, so no, I can't overnight you. We don't have them. We don't have them in stock. All right. Let me know if you guys want me to talk about anything specific on socials today, and I would see you in like 3 hours. Actually, that's right. We'll be back. All right. Adios. Have a good one. You guys keep crushing.